I'm Mark Adams, and welcome to episode 42 of Marksmess podcast. We're with my daughters Charlotte and Catherine.
Charlotte and Catherine.
We look at the world of geekery, and this month we're going to look at some of the correspondence we've had and a few other things, but as a few bits of news. First of all, we are now an award-winning podcast. Two times.
We already were.
Yes, but you kind of can't go, yes, we're award-winning when it was a few years ago. So we are award-winning. If you're unsure what that means for us, Professor Alan Middleton, every year he has on his Eyes and Ears blog on Blogspot a list of award-winning podcasts that he sees are worthy of winning awards. This year we win a special award. It's Favorite podcast from the United Kingdom that mailed me cool stuff for winning a contest and was totally not a bribe. Isn't that great? And never mind about what it says there.
Catherine and Charlotte Adams host a wonderful show about all aspects of pop culture while also struggling to keep their wacky dad Mark in line, which is not easy.
Okay.
True that.
We were also on another podcast. We appeared as part of the Epic Marvel podcast, where we were asked to do some reviews of Spider-Ham. Wasn't that fun doing that? We got to go all the way to America, went into their studio, met the other people who were doing things. See this podcasting lark, it's great.
Yeah, it takes you everywhere.
Yeah, so if you want to hear us on that, we're one of the segments in the Epic Marvel podcast, Spider-Ham Episode 1 Marvel Tales. So go and find that. We have had a few bits of correspondence. A few podcasts ago, you had you two showing me YouTube channels. Do you remember that? Mm-hmm. Your favourite YouTube channels?
Yes.
Mike Staley got in touch with us. He said he's going to check out the new episode, but he said he hopes one of those YouTube channels was his channel. Mike is a fantastically talented guy. Not only does he do podcasts of Silent Night, the Cassandra Cain podcast, but he also has DC 50 Years Ago, where he talks about the DC comics that were 50 years ago. Of course, I'm younger than that, so I don't remember any of them. But he also has his own YouTube channel, Mike's Geek World, all of which are worth checking out. And not only is he a podcaster and a YouTuber, but he's also a singer.
I thought you were going to say he's also a dad.
Not that I know of, and probably not what he knows as. I think Mike might be falling off his chair when he hears that. We have had feedback on our last episode from the lovely Sutherlands, our last episode where we did what did we do?
Mr. Bean's holiday.
Wasn't Mr. Bean's holiday.
Merry Christmas, Mr. Bean.
Merry Christmas, Mr. Bean, and we did a commentary on it. And the Sutherlands got in touch with us and they said,
"We love Mr. Bean. It was a treat to hear your reactions and commentary on the episode. We know the episode so well we could picture it easily as you talked about it. Your annual viewing sounds like a great tradition. Thanks for sharing this on your show, Ruth."
And thank you very much for listening, and to all our listeners who joined with us in that Christmas tradition. You may have noticed we haven't had a podcast in January. That's mainly because Charlotte had important exams during that time.
So you're going to blame me now?
I'm going to blame you all day long. That's the point of having children. You can blame people. What's that smell? That's one of my children.
No, that's a dog.
Well, that's why we got the dog, because we couldn't blame you two anymore.
We got the dog because we wanted a dog, and then you came home and you saw a dog.
Yes, I didn't get any say at all in the dog.
You agreed to it, basically.
I agreed in theory having a dog. I agree a lot of things in theory. I agree spacelight.
But you love him.
I tolerate him.
You love him.
I tolerate him, and you've got no video evidence of me going, "Aren't you a great boy?" Anyway, another person got in touch with us, W. Blaine Dowler, who is a fantastic podcaster. He does podcasts on many things. A few of them I listen to, especially his 99 Years, 100 Years of Film, which he talks about all the winners of the Oscars. And he is going through every Best Picture winner of the Oscars.
Okay.
From every year for 99 years. 100 films in 99 years. And if you want to find out why it's not 100 films in 100 years, you need to listen to the podcast. Because he tells you.
100 films in 99 years. What? Was there not one year? Was there not Oscars thing is on here? No?
Yeah, listen to the podcast, you'll find out. So Blaine got in touch with us after we discussed old movies, and this is what he said.
Listening to the podcasts I downloaded in June now, you are correct. I am disappointed in the reaction of your daughters to black and white movies.
That's when we talked about you two always not wanting to see black and white movies, and I thought Blaine would not be impressed with that.
Have you tried to get them to watch The General yet? If not, Keaton also did a 23-minute short called Cops that might help them.
Unfortunately, you're right, I have tried that, but unfortunately, anything that is black and white, they won't go for.
That's because colour's interesting.
Black and white can be very interesting. You're into your art, and the different shades you can get is fantastic. In fact, even if you did just black and white art, that can be gorgeous.
Gorgeous, darling.
But colour's nice.
Colour is nice, but it doesn't take away from the art. If you would like to get in touch with us, as other people have, you can by email at
mymarksmess@gmail.com.
on Twitter,
At Marksmess Podcast without the T.
on our webpage, marksmesspodcasts.blogspot.com, or on our Facebook page.
Marksmess Podcasts.
What have we been up to? Let's have a review of last year. Last year was 29. You're correct. Well done. Your exams, it looks like they're going to be great after that. So what did you enjoy, geeky-wise, from last year? Any books that you read that you thought those are great?
I read a Nancy Drew comic book thing. I don't know what it's called, though.
That's what one the Sutherlands very kindly sent us. So what was it like?
I liked it.
I liked it too.
And the both of you read it. I haven't got to read it yet.
I liked the art style in it.
What type of art style would you say it was?
It was between a cartoon and slightly realism, more towards cartoon, because they didn't have massive heads and tiny bodies. They have proportions that are kind of realistic, but in a cartoony style.
That's very good. And you read it. Did you like the mystery in it?
Yeah, I like a good mystery.
Yeah, we're trying to get on to Death in Paradise. And we discovered it's all on the BBC iPlayer, which is great. Any books that you read, Charlotte?
I read one called Johnny.
What's that about?
About a girl who gets paralysed from the neck down.
Right, and this is a biography. It's not a fiction.
Yeah.
What age was she when she got paralysed?
17, I think.
So just a year older than you are now?
Yeah.
Okay, that's actually quite a famous book. A lot of people out there may well have come across it. Any TV programs?
Supergirl.
Oh, no.
I got another series of Supergirl for, was it my birthday?
Yeah.
Which was in December.
So what series of Supergirl are you on now?
Series 4.
Right, and how's that going?
I like it.
What about you, Catherine? Catherine, 2019 was the year you got to know Brooklyn Nine-Nine.
Yes.
And you're looking forward to the next series?
Yes. I've watched all of the episodes of all the series so far. It was recommended to me by a lot of people as well.
Yeah, it's quite good comedy.
I also watched some of Once Upon a Time on Netflix.
Oh.
Yeah, we got Netflix for a month or two over the summer.
I watched it too, it was very good.
Yeah.
We didn't finish it though.
No, we didn't. Well, Catherine, there's 7 series. So obviously we didn't finish it.
And that's quite a good one. I remember your mother and me watching it years ago, and so it brings fairy tales into the real world.
And it's like a mystery as well.
Yeah, it's one of those rolling mysteries that keeps on going. Over Christmas, what movies did we get?
Wreck-It Ralph 2.
What did you think of that?
Yeah, it's good.
And we got
Paddington 2.
Paddington 2. Paddington is one of those lovely ones. We've seen it before. I think we saw it at the cinema.
Yeah.
It's a lovely, gentle comedy.
Buffy.
We got Buffy. Somebody very nice bought the two of you the first season of Buffy, and we've been going through that once a week on our Saturday night viewing. And so far, what did you think? Oh no, I tell you what. When we've gone through the whole series, we'll do a whole episode on the first season of Buffy. I know that Shag Matthews and his daughter, the Precocious Princess, have done an episode on the whole, 7 series of Buffy. That's a very good episode. I must admit, podcasting with just one daughter becomes more appealing as time goes on.
No, I was born first. Bye
No.
bye. Bye bye. I do like it when you find a good series and then it ends up having like 10 or something seasons to them. I do like that. It's
Okay.
always a good find.
We've also been watching Doctor Who, the most recent series, and we might do a whole episode on that as well because I'm enjoying it. There are highs, there are some lows, but mainly highs from it. And we might do a wee bit about toxic fandom on the back of that. Might not.
What's
because
that?
we also got Mary Poppins Returns.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah, I like that a lot.
I like that, even though you slept through some of it, pretty sure.
I did not sleep through any. Yes, I did actually.
I recognised a person in it.
But who did you recognise?
Lin-Manuel Miranda.
And that brings us to another program that we watched.
So it does.
His Dark Materials.
Oh yeah. I am currently reading the first book, and then I got the second and third book as well.
Right.
I'm enjoying them.
That was a really good, really well done by the BBC.
I loved it.
Yeah.
BBC, they've done some things recently, some series that didn't work for me. War of the Worlds did not work for me at all. I thought it was, it just wasn't anywhere near anything I'd be interested in. They did a Dracula. It was okay. It kept my interest, but this was very well done. I've forgotten the name of the actress who played the lead character, who is called
Lyra.
But she was fantastic in it. It was really well done. Really enjoyed it. Looking forward to the next season.
What was the bear called? Is it Yorick or something?
Yorick.
Burnson.
He was my favourite character.
I'm not surprised. He's lovely and cuddly, but just the fierceness of it, and they didn't hold back in the story. Some of it was very sad. It ended on a big cliffhanger. I don't know if the book ends there or not, but you can let us know.
Because I haven't finished it.
Yeah, I got the BBC audio drama for Christmas, and I must start listening to that in the car on the way there.
Way there to where?
Way to work. Maybe I should have said that in the first
You
place.
just said the way there, just like...
The way there, the way to that world that they live in,
Yeah.
where we've got demons.
Yeah.
Now, 2020 is a big year. There are a lot of new movies coming out. And let's go through some of the new movies that will be out in the cinema in the next year and see if they're movies that you think that you would like to see. Now,
Widow.
can we leave the... If you're going to shout out, could you at least raise your hand? Yeah, I'll come to that in a minute. Let's go month by month, starting with January was Dr. Dolittle. Now, that's a Robert Downey Jr. version of it. Is it anything you'd want to see? Now, I always categorise them as I want to see in the cinema, I want to see on video, or DVD, I suppose now, and I'll wait till it comes on TV.
Probably TV, because I remember we watched the first few and it's just, there wasn't really much that happened. It was just...
In the Dr. Dolittle,
Yeah.
that's the Eddie Murphy one. Now, Dr. Dolittle is a book that was written about the late 1800s, early 1800s, sometime around then.
What are
So
you thinking of?
the Eddie Murphy Dr. Dolittle, which was based around modern day.
One.
Yeah. Right, so TV, what about you, Charlotte?
Yeah, probably TV.
Okay, Sonic, based around Sonic the Hedgehog. This was quite controversial because the first trailer was rubbish.
Probably just wouldn't watch it, to be honest.
Yeah, me too.
I think I'm with you on that. Birds of Prey, which is in the cinemas at the moment.
Is that about Harley Quinn or something?
Yeah, it is.
Well, considering I haven't seen...
Suicide Squad.
Yeah, considering I haven't seen that, it would probably be a bit difficult to watch because then I would have to catch up on it.
I wasn't that enamored with Suicide Squad. I can quite easily leave Birds of Prey. Just not for me. Okay, another one out this month is Call of the Wild, which is about a man and a dog in very North Canada or Alaska or sometime like that. It's Harrison Ford with what looks like a CGI dog, and they go on adventures.
Isn't that a Michael Morpurgo book or something?
It is a very famous book, that's right. And next month in March, there's Mrs. Mullen, or Mulan, the live-action one.
Apparently there's no singing in it.
No, it is all...
There is.
Is there?
It's just different songs because they took out some of the songs to respect Chinese culture.
Okay. No
That's why
idea.
they don't have some of the same songs, and people are really upset. And then they learned it's for Chinese to respect Chinese culture, and they understood.
You okay?
Because there's a whole soundtrack to it. Why
But
would there
there's
be
a soundtrack.
with no songs?
There's a soundtrack to every movie.
No, like songs,
Oh,
like
right.
a playlist.
Okay. Right. So is this going to be cinema, DVD, TV, or not bothered?
Between cinema and DVD.
I'd go
I'd probably say TV or DVD.
right. So somewhere around DVD, either way. The new Bond movie, No Time to Die. Any interest in Bond?
I haven't seen any of them.
And
Okay, I think I'll wait for TV, which I did for the rest of them. The Secret Garden, a new movie of that.
what's that?
It's about a young girl goes to a very big house and stays there, and she finds a secret garden.
And there's also a wee boy in a wheelchair.
Yes.
I think I've heard of that. I've probably not watched it though.
very famous.
Yeah, you've probably seen it on a children's channel on a different version of it, so I think we'll wait for this. May, Black Widow.
Cinema.
Black Widow, she's the character in the Marvel Cinematic Universe.
That one with the curly hair.
Yeah,
the
that
red hair.
redhead.
With the curly hair.
Yeah. What do you think, Catherine? Because we've got news for the listeners.
Well, I need to watch.
Catherine has been going through all the MCU movies. And
Very
she
fast pace.
very fast pace. But she's decided she wanted to watch Spider-Man, and we said, no, you have to really see them all before you get to Far From Home. And she's been watching them all, and she's
Currently on.
I just finished whatever the one I was.
Civil War.
Yeah, I just
Which
finished
side
it.
you're on? Iron Man or Captain America?
Ah,
You have to choose.
Choose a side.
my own.
Oh,
What about you?
Team Cap the whole way.
Yeah, me too.
So, are we all going to go and see Black Widow, Catherine? Are we all going to go and see
Well,
it?
it depends if I watched it by then.
Right, if we got it all.
Well, you're not going to watch the movie by then.
No, she means watch the rest of the movies.
it sounded like she said.
Because there's an important movie you have to watch to know a bit about Black Widow's background. In May, also, along with Black Widow, there's a new Scooby-Doo movie.
I want to see that in cinema.
I want to see it too.
Really?
I like Scooby-Doo.
I love Scooby-Doo.
Okay, that'll be a girls' trip for you too. In June, Wonder Woman 84.
Nah.
I don't know.
I don't know either.
I did enjoy the first one,
Yeah,
so I don't know. It's kind of pending between all of them.
yes. I don't know at all, but a thing I realised today, 1984, George Orwell's book. Ooh, a dystopian future.
This one now?
Dystopian. We have covered dystopian before. Bad future.
Refresh. Okay.
Okay. Top Gun Maverick. Top Gun was one of the most famous movies in the 80s. I've only got it in here because it's that where Tom Cruise played a fighter ace in the 80s, and he had his wee jet going along, go pew pew pew. So he's still a fighter pilot 30, 40 years on. Is it worth going to go and see?
I've never seen any of them.
Should we get Top Gun out sometime and watch it?
No.
I think it won't
How
have
old
aged
is
well.
it?
Mid-80s. It's not in black and white.
She will watch anything below 2000s.
Well, yeah.
Well, like below 1991 or 1990. No.
Okay, that's fair enough. In July, there's a new Minions movie.
I don't know.
Isn't it about that grew?
Yeah, as a child.
Yeah. I might see it.
Would you wait for a DVD?
I might just wait for TV.
It depends between DVD and cinema.
Yeah.
Because in my opinion, if you're not too sure about buying the DVD's £10 and like a cinema ticket's what, like £5?
Well,
For
you can
one
wait
person
for the
to see
DVD to come out when it's half price or a couple of £.
Yeah, but then by that time it'll only be a wee while to wait until it's on TV.
Fair enough. That you're my daughter.
And
Okay.
anyway, you've got like all those not box sets like Netflix and all that.
It'll probably be on that. We'll probably have another 3 month or two by the time we get there. Also in July's a big month for Ghostbusters Afterlife. I want to go and see this.
It looks quite good.
I don't really like Ghostbusters.
Be scary.
I know, but it's just.
Be scary.
It's
Are
not
you
like-
too scared?
It's not really that interesting.
Scaredy.
No.
Ghostbusters isn't interesting.
Yes.
Have you? Have we shown you the original Ghostbusters?
Yeah.
Yeah. What did you think of that?
I liked it.
It's kind of boring.
There's no pleasing some people. Jungle Cruise in July as well.
Oh, that's the one with the rock in it.
That's the one with the rock in it.
I don't know. I think I'll just wait for TV.
Oh, is that the one where he's riding, like,
On a boat?
where he's
Water?
driving the boat?
Yeah.
And
Yes.
then the woman's, like, going there like a spy or something?
Yeah.
Basically.
I might see it. Sounds
Okay.
good.
That's okay. And there's Morbius, which is a Spider-Man universe one. Morbius is a vampire. No? Okay, that's what I thought.
What?
Just because it was comic book related.
That's confusing.
Morbius is a vampire. Right?
Why is it Spider-Man?
Because he's a Spider-Man villain ally.
So he's in Spider-Man.
Yeah, so it's in the Sony Spider-Man universe. August. I'm actually excited about this. I'm more excited about this than I should be. Bill and Ted Face the Music. In the 80s, if you wanted a fun adventure movie, you wanted Bill and Ted. Two movies that they had. Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure, Bill and Ted's Bogus Journey. They're dudes, so hey man, hey dude.
Oh, they like all did talk.
Yes, and they're pretty thick. Quite a good movie. We probably should get you to watch the Bill and Ted series first, even the first one. It's very good. Nothing in September I found that was interesting. October is Venom 2. We haven't seen the first one. Venom is a Spider-Man villain. And there's an Agatha Christie Death on the Nile, which is a murder mystery.
Ooh, that sounds good.
Yeah.
The only thing I've seen with Agatha Christie in is Doctor Who.
Yep, fair enough. In November, there is another Marvel movie, The Eternals.
I don't know what else about it.
Oh, how do I describe this? Not my favourite group of all, but they're kind of mythological people who the Celestials
The what now?
enhanced
What's the
hundreds of thousands years ago. Celestials are a group of spacefaring robots. I'm not very good on my Marvel cosmic stuff, but they came to Earth and they created. They took the humans and they went, we'll create some of you into these superpowered beings, we'll create some of you into these deviant beings, bad guys, and we'll leave the rest of you as humans, but we'll put in a special X factor into your thing so then so some of you will turn into superheroes. It's the next Marvel one.
Oh, is that like the mist and all that?
That is slightly different. That is
I
the
thought maybe it was the.
Inhumans.
Yeah, I thought maybe the ones that had like the little X thing and turned into a.
Well, that'd be mutants. Okay. There's a new movie in November, Clifford the Big Red Dog.
I used to love that.
How did that dog get in the house? That's what I want to know at the beginning. It didn't. And also Godzilla versus King Kong. This has been building for a while, for a few years, trying to make a monster universe. And Godzilla being the giant dinosaur type fire-breathing thing, or nuclear-breathing, and King Kong being big monkey person. In December, there's a lot on in December. The Frank Herbert's Dune. Dune was a famous novel about a planet that was all sandy and they had these worms that went and ate people, huge big worms. That is coming out. Love to see what they do with
Like
that.
a Scooby-Doo episode, because
gonna
I
say
remember there was
that.
one like that was massive big worms.
I think
Like racing or something, and these people like worship the worms.
Frank Herbert probably wrote that. Not.
I know, it sounded really weird.
West Side Story, a new version of that. West Side Story is a musical. I want to be in America, lots to see in America. I want to be in America, lots to see in America. Yeah. No, about two warring gangs based on Romeo and Juliet. No, but this is good. This is
I saw one that was like two warring gangs that was basically Romeo and Juliet, and it was really bad.
yeah.
Guns and all, and it was just like pew pew pew.
Oh,
Yes, because there were churches.
Is that the one with Leonardo DiCaprio?
Nope.
No.
No.
No,
That's
wait, let me say. Is that the one with Leonardo DiCaprio? Was it DiCaprio?
yeah.
I don't know.
Try to say it again.
Is that the one with Leonardo DiCaprio?
No.
We watched that in English. It was really weird.
But this is a good musical. Okay, lots of fun music, and then people die at the end. In the 80s,
Based on Romeo and Juliet.
in the 80s, there was an Eddie Murphy. Eddie Murphy was big star in the 80s. The guy who played Donkey.
Oh.
Yeah. In the 80s, he had a movie, Coming to America, where he played an African
old,
prince. He is.
How old is he roughly?
I don't know. I've never been to his birthday and counted his candles on his cake. You young people and all these questions and the internet for you. Anyway, he had a movie in the 80s called Coming to America, and he was an African prince who came to America looking for a bride. And there's going to be a sequel called Coming to, the number 2, America. No idea.
So original.
So original. 2 stars that started off in 1940 are going to have a movie all about them. Tom and Jerry.
Really?
Really?
I had a DS game about that. I'm pretty sure I still have it.
That's great. Probably from 1940. No one DS. If you remember the Groods, they're having a second one. The Groods.
I've never heard of that.
The Cavemen. The animated.
Oh, yeah, I like that movie.
Oh,
the Flintstones.
No. It was the more recent one. I'll look up.
Oh, is that the one with the weird dog thingy?
Mm-hmm.
I think so. And then, like, they find not civilization, because they're civilization, but they find someone who, like, knows about fire and all that. I don't remember that bit.
Sorry, and the last movie of the year that I've got down is Tomorrow War. I'm not entirely sure why I wrote it down because I've forgotten what it's all about. But
World War III.
It could be World War III, or it could be jumping in the future, time travel. Who knows? Anyway, so that's our year planned out for movies. If you think there are movies that we've missed off that list that are coming, please let us know. We're going to finish off the episode here. What we're going to do is do our sign out. Then we'll do a couple of promos for a couple of podcasts. We'll do Blaine Dowler's 99 Years and 100 Films, and we'll do Mike Staley's DC 50 Years Ago. If you'd like to get in touch with us, you can email us at
mymarksmess@gmail.com.
on Twitter,
At Marksmess Podcast without the T.
on our webpage, marksmesspodcasts.blogspot.com, on our Facebook page.
Marksmess Podcast.
Thanks to Josh Woodward of joshwoodward.com for the title music. And do stick around after our closing music and after the trailers. I'm going to give a short review of what my thoughts on The Rise of Skywalker.
Bye. Bye.
Bye.
I'm gonna make him an offer he can't refuse.
Frankly, my dear, I don't give a damn.
He's looking at you, kid.
All right, Mr. DeMille, I'm ready for my close-up.
Oh, I've been thinking.
Well, what do you want to do that for?
Fasten your seatbelts. It's going to be a bumpy night.
They call me Mr. Tibbs.
99 Years, 100 Films. A monthly look at every film to win the Academy Award for Best Picture. With your hosts Blaine Dowler and Trey Hooks. Hosted at Bureau42.com.
My mom always said life was like a box of chocolates. You never know what you're going to get.
Please, sir, I want some more.
I don't know. Modern day comics just don't seem to have the magic the older ones did. I wish I could go back to those days. What the? Wait, you're me. But I'm me. How is this possible? I'm you, from the future. What happens to my voice? Oh, well, actually, I kind of was eating peanuts before I came back, and one of them went down the wrong tube. I'm still trying to get it out, actually. nothing. Well, still, the future must be terrible. I mean, your hair's half burnt off.
Oh, well, actually, I tripped and fell over the stove.
What about the scar on your face?
It's a paper cut.
And the eye patch?
I was looking through a telescope and accidentally pointed at the sun. Look, I have a reason for being here. I built a time machine so you can go back to the past and check out the comics of yesteryear. I figure you'll either enjoy the good old days or you'll gain an appreciation for the current comics. Maybe both.
Can I bring some friends with me?
Sure, but only one at a time.
Well, there you have it. Join me, Mike Staley, and an assortment of co-hosts as we look over the world of DC Comics from half a century ago in my new monthly podcast, DC 50 Years Ago.
Who are you talking to?
Don't worry about it. Just check out DC 50 Years Ago on iTunes or Apple Podcasts, whatever it's called, and at dc50yearsago.podomatic.com.
Seriously, who are you talking to?
Rise of the Skywalker is meant to be the last of the Skywalker series of 9 Star Wars movies. I went to see it by myself because the girls aren't interested, but one thing I will tell you, in fact, I'll tell you 3 things about it. 3 things that affected my judgment of it. First of all, I liked it. I was thoroughly entertained. I thought the action scenes were well done. Pace was quite fast. There were no bits of it I thought, can I nip out to the toilet now? So I was very happy with it. I enjoyed seeing older characters. I nearly punched the air when I saw Wedge. Great to see him, and it was really good. 2 things, these are the second and third things I'm talking about, kind of marred it slightly for me. First of all was that it was obvious that there wasn't an overall plan for the movies, for those 3 trilogy of movies. I found that quite hard. I know the first trilogy back in the 70s and 80s didn't have an overall arc or an overall story thought out beforehand, but it wasn't expected then. The second trilogy in the late 90s and early 90s had a very obvious overall arc and obvious where it was going to. And these 3, although the first director of the trilogy had his overall arc, the second director decided to go a different way. So the first director came back for the 3rd movie, and it was very obvious that there were bits missing. That there were bits that were shoehorned in to keep the first vision of it. Instead of having an overall vision for it by somebody else, these directors wanted to put their own mark on it. While it didn't destroy the franchise, it didn't destroy the trilogy, it didn't destroy any movie, it was quite obvious in this 3rd movie where things were shoehorned in, and I was hoping it would be better having an overall arc for the 3 movies. And the 3rd thing was Rebels, Star Wars Rebels. It delved into the mythos of Jedi, all those temples they went to and different devices they had, and it wasn't referenced at all here. It was as if Rebels never happened. Now, I appreciate this is a different entity. It's not a television show, it's a movie. More people will see the movie than watch any of the TV shows. I haven't seen Resistance, Star Wars Resistance at all, and haven't even sought it out. But it would have been nice to have that sort of crossover element between these things. And I find this with other franchises, the Marvel Cinematic Universe and Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. and those other TV shows, there's no crossover element there. I thoroughly enjoyed this movie. Will I buy it on DVD? That's a big question. I definitely bought Force Awakens because I thought it was such a good movie. Lots wrong with it. There's no such thing as a perfect movie. I don't think I'll buy this one. I'll wait for it to come out on TV and definitely watch it again. I look forward to seeing what they do with Star Wars now. I haven't seen The Mandalorian. I hope possibly we'll see it over the summer, and I do look forward to that. Let us know what you thought of The Rise of the Skywalker, and you'll hear from us next month. Bye!